amount of $1,000. Ms. Givens claims Ms. Frieda's son lit a firecracker in her backyard and set the lawn ablaze.
Ms. Givens, you're suing Ms. Frieda for $1,000, and this has to do with your lawn catching on fire?
That's right, Your Honor. Her son, Ryan.
All right, so how do you know the defendant?
We're neighbors. We live about a block away.
Okay, so what do we do as neighbors and friends?
My son is 12 years old and her son is 11. They're very close in age. They're best friends.
Okay, they go to school together.
They do.
Okay, so have you done things with both children, like taking them out, gone to the movies? Is it that kind of thing, or it's just in the neighborhood?
No. I occasionally offered to have play dates with her son over at my home because her son is often left at home alone.
Oh, okay. So are you a single mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you've never done anything with both kids either?
I have. They've hung out at my house before.
They've had play dates at your house?
Yes,
Did you forget about that?
Well, no, they weren't really play dates per se.
What were they?
They were more got into mischief a little bit.
At her house?
Yeah.
Like what type of mischief did they get into at her house?
Well, she told me that her son's idea was to throw water balloons at a car. So my son would never do that unless it was influenced negatively by another person.
Right. Where's your parenting come in? Because nobody could have talked me into doing anything that I wasn't taught not to do. Tell me about this fire.
It was a normal sort of play date. I invited him over for a play date in a text, and she texts back. She goes, "I'm working a lot. I just don't know when I can make that happen." And I said, "Well, not a problem. I'll pick him up from school."
So tell me about this day you picked a child up at school. You picked up both boys, I guess.
Yeah, they came home and they started watching television, and I just stepped away momentarily. And then the next thing I knew, I hear fire, from downstairs. And
How much time after you had left them there did you hear this fire?
Oh, I'm thinking a half hour,
45 minutes,
like that.
Your Honor.
How do you know it was 45 minutes?
Because she told me herself, Your Honor.
Okay, she said 45
about 45
minutes
minutes. She left them.
So you hear fire, and then what?
I rush downstairs to see what's happening. I see that my entire backyard is engulfed in flames.
Right.
Back there. My son is taking a fire hose from the side and trying to put out the fire.
Where'd your son get a fire hose?
Well, not a garden hose.
What was her son doing?
I don't know, but the next thing I know, he was off and running out the back gate with the firecracker.
Okay, did you say something to him? Stop! Don't go anywhere.
No. Called 911. The fire department came over and then extinguished the rest of the fire.
Okay. So when did you find out about this?
I didn't know what had happened. She came and she's telling me, "Where's your son?" yelling and screaming. So I called my son down and I'm like, "Hey, what happened?"
Is your son here?
No, Your Honor.
Is your son here?
No.
So I'm not going to hear what your son said or your son said? That's all hearsay.
Yeah.
So based on what your son said, what did you do?
So she starts telling me what happened at her house, what occurred, and kind of mom shaming me, and so I was.
What do you mean
totally
kind of
relieved.
mom shaming you?
Your son did this. My son's a bad influence on her son.
Okay. What did you tell her?
I told her to leave because she was yelling at me in my house in front of my child. It was just getting out of hand.
She wasn't taking responsibility, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the responsibility is hers. I have the text message, Your Honor.
Right. Between the two of you?
That she sent to me.
Let me see the text.
This time.
Excuse me, but you told me they got in trouble at her house.
Only at her house, not at my house.
If they got in trouble at her house and you're upstairs doing whatever you're doing upstairs for 45 minutes, then they can get in trouble at your house, and they did.
Exactly.
Let me just tell you the problem we have right now. So you are suing her for the actions of her child, correct? You're suing her because you're saying her child set your lawn on fire.
I'm looking to recover my financial loss of $1,000.
The problem is it's not about probabilities or conjecture or whatever. It's based on evidence. And the only way I could find her liable is if I find that her son caused the fire. I don't have her son here to question. I don't have your son here to question. And so the case fails because you failed to prove it with evidence.
And I have my own witness testimony that I saw the firecrackers.
What witness?
My own.
You understand? But you didn't see him start the fire.
You were upstairs for 45
Ready to
minutes.
rule. Case dismissed. Good luck to you both.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.